Supreme Court rules that Trump can slash DEI programs at NIH. I mean, I don't know why they needed the Supreme Court to sit in on this. The President Trump, is the chief executive officer. So if he don't like a program within government, he has every right to get rid of it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I'll talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Conservative Brief, and they report that the Supreme Court has given the green light to the Trump administration to slash hundreds of millions of dollars in federal health research grants that promote diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives or gender ideology extremism. By a 5-4 vote, the justices lifted a lower court order that ordered the National Institute of Health to restore funding for more than 1,700 grants. Chief Justice John Roberts notably joined the court's 3 liberal justices in dissent. Roberts, man, I really do not like that dude. But Justice Amy Coney Barrett, however, sided with the majority in agreement that the administration can withhold the funding, but she joined Roberts and the liberals to leave intact another part of the lower court's ruling that voided NIH guidance enforcing Trump's anti-DEI executive orders. Since the ruling halts immediate funding, the administration is likely to count it as another win in a series of emergency appeals it has brought to the High Court. In a concurrent opinion, Barrett wrote that the case should have been filed in the U.S. Court of Federal Claims in Washington rather than in district court. The court hears disputes involving federal contracts and could award damages later, but would not provide immediate relief. The decision reversed U.S. District Judge William Young, a Reagan appointee, who in June ordered NIH to restore the grant after lawsuits from researchers and 16 Democratic-led states. Young used unusually sharp language, declaring, quote, "This represents racial discrimination and discrimination against America's LGBTQ community. I would be blind not to call it out. My duty is to call it out." How is it they love calling stuff this racist and discrimination and stuff like that? We should not hire people or in government or hand out grants and things like that based on race or your sexual preference. It should go on merit alone. That's how everything should be ran, on merit, not because you check off some certain box. But it's unclear why the judge legally compelled the Trump administration to fund programs to raise awareness about LGBTQ issues, or why is tantamount to discrimination, right? Because it's not. Justice Neil Gorsuch, joined by Justice Brett Kavanaugh, faulted Young for ignoring a prior Supreme Court ruling from April that had let the administration cancel $64 million in teaching-related grants. Quote, "When this court issues a decision, it constitutes a precedent that commands respect in lower courts," Gorsuch wrote. Well, Democrats don't think they have to listen to court decisions that they disagree with. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, the one that don't know what a woman is, filed a 21-page dissent calling the decision bizarre and criticizing her colleagues for, quote, "sending plaintiffs on a likely futile multi-venue quest for complete relief." She added that the ruling could force medical labs to euthanize animals used in ongoing research. That's not true. Jackson also warned that the court appears to favor the Trump administration, writing, quote, "Calvin Ball has only one rule. There are no fixed rules. We seem to have two. That one and this administration always wins." Wow. And it was an article. Someone wrote an article yesterday talking about how Ketanji Brown's opinions are really not for the American people. It's for And she write her opinions for the leftists that believe that she believe in. It's crazy. It's nuts, man. She should not be a Supreme Court justice. She's an activist judge. In its filings, the administration said Young's order compelled NIH to pay out over $783 billion in grants. Grantees disputed that figure as, quote, invented out of whole cloth. Solicitor General John Sawyer defended the cuts, pointing to grants focused on intersectional, multi-level, and multi-dimensional structural racism for English and Spanish-speaking populations. What? And anti-racist healing in nature. He said a comprehensive internal review determined that the grants violated one or more of President Trump's executive orders issued after his return to office in January. 2 targeting DEI programs and 1 affirming the immutable biological reality of sex. Facts. Sawyer also argued that federal law directs such disputes to the Court of Federal Claims. That position ultimately carried the day with the majority. The Supreme Court stressed that Thursday's ruling is not a final decision on the legality of the grant cancellations, but allows the administration to withhold funding while litigation continues. The Trump administration has appealed Young's decision to the First Circuit Court of Appeals, which had declined to put his ruling on hold. The Supreme Court decision does not settle the legality of the grant cancellations, but it gives the Trump administration the green light to press ahead for now. The case will continue in lower courts, but until then, the administration can wield its executive authority to reshape federal research funding on its own terms. But y'all, let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.